So 2 weeks ago was the first time that I rode the bike. I rode it with stock bodywork, just some used takeoff slicks on it, and gearing. We changed some gearing. Yeah, so I think I went a tooth down on the back, and I think changed the gearing overall by about 3 or 4 teeth shorter, basically. There's a selector on the bike that enables you to change the power modes. It allows you to change the traction control settings, and also allows you to change anti-wheelie. We started today on power 1, which is the most power. I think it's the direct power between your throttle and the butterflies. And then we started with the day at traction control setting 3, and then went progressively down to 1, which is the lowest setting. You can turn it off, but we left it on. The tires are pretty used. We were trying to turn the ABS off. We found out the ABS was the biggest problem with a stock bike when you take it to the track and you start going fast. Basically what happens is it feels like someone's letting go of your front brake as you're braking. Tried disabling the ABS by there's 2 ABS fuses, and we tried pulling each one, but then the quick shifter stops working, so ended up having to plug it back in. But that was what we did in the first day. Just rode around, didn't take any lap times, got used to the bike. So different from the Suzuki, it's so much smaller, so I feel like I'm sitting right over the front of the bike. Even just leaving the pits, the bike feels weird, but after riding on it a little bit, it kind of just feels so small, really small bike. Today, I mean, we got a few more parts. The bike is still really stock. We spent the first couple of sessions just really getting the controls of the bike down and making sure that now that we have clip-ons and things like that, we got the things in the right order, and the right where they want it to be. The Yamaha, in most of bikes nowadays, the switches have so many different functions in them that they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which makes it much more difficult when you start putting on aftermarket brake levers and things like that to get them to fit where you want them to be, because their range of motion is now limited by the size of the massive switches that you have to run. So they work well on a stock bar, but you start putting aftermarket things on, it's not as plug and play as it seems. And we changed the front forks, put a full K-Tech, I think DDS-20 cartridge kit in it, revalved the stock shock and resprung it because the K-Tech shock is not available right now. Got rid of the ABS system by running brake lines directly from the front, put a Brembo master on it. Eliminated the cat with a custom master muffler exhaust. You know, we did that to free up some power, weight, and also the most important reason is really not to burn the race bodywork, because now that we have race bodywork on the bike, there's a really high chance of it melting or catching on fire with a cat right there. We ran a flashed map from the FT guys, and I didn't really even think about the engine characteristics of the bike. The gearing was way too short, so it was running out of gear coming out of the corner, so we're changing gearing now to make the bike a little taller, and then also the hand controls were just a little foreign to me, so we're just changing some things around to get me more comfortable on the bike, and then this next session we can start actually thinking a little bit about the engine and the suspension parts.
Yeah, so we just came in, did a gearing change.
What did you go from?
We went from a 42 to a 41, try to eliminate some early shift points and get a longer drive out of the corners.
You had to move the axle back.
Correct. It's going to give him a little longer wheelbase, which if he has some traction will help him, so we'll see how it goes.
33 in the front and 26 and a half in the rear. It's on the rear, it's running a SC0, which is not ideal right now, but it's a throwaway tire, so I'm just going to use it up. And then on the front, we've got an SC2.
Yeah, so the bike stock felt like it was running wide pretty bad right when you get off the brake, trail braking, and the moment where you're getting off the brake, really right around the apex of the corner, it felt like it was running a little wide. And, it seemed to do it to a much smaller degree with the aftermarket suspension we have on the bike now, but it still was doing it, so I don't know what you changed. So we're playing around with that for a while, but and also the bike was wiggling around a little bit, so the rear on the brakes, the rear wasn't as stable. So I believe we went to a stiffer spring in the back to get the rear to track better. Got more comfortable at the last session of the day. Felt like I picked up the pace a little bit, and we played around with some fuel maps. We put a Graves fuel map in, and the bikes felt faster, but the throttle on-off throttle was really abrupt. And so right now that's my biggest complaint with the bike, is that going from 0 to just opening the throttle 1 or 2%, the bike feels really harsh, and it's hard to ride that way.